So we're at that time of the year again, where otaku all over Japan are abuzz with excitement, making sure they have their Shinkansen tickets to Tokyo booked and preparing as much as they can for the upcoming War for Waifus that is about to take place in Japan's largest international exhibition center, Tokyo Big Sight. Comiket is almost here. And even though I'm currently back in England this year for winter break, meaning that unfortunately I won't be able to attend this year's winter Comiket, I thought I'd put myself in a mood anyway by making a video about Comiket, talking about its history, and some interesting things I actually found out about one of its founders, so stay tuned. Short for Comic Market, Comiket is a semi-annual event that is essentially a massive fan convention where groups or individuals, the term circle is used for them, sell among other things self-published print works called doujinshi. This can include magazines, manga, and novels. Now, the cheeks of some people who are watching this video may have turned a little red from hearing the word doujinshi, because it's a term that is often associated with adult-orientated fan-made manga. For example, your favorite anime characters being put into rather spicy situations. Even though that material, both original and for existing series, is certainly popular, doujinshi of course includes self-published print works for all ages too. Now, I mentioned doujinshi first because that's probably what the majority of people who know something about Comiket would automatically think of, but doujinshi is actually part of a wider category called doujin. Doujin indicates a group of people who share a similar hobby or interest of some sort, but what can trip people up is that creative works produced by these groups are also called doujin. Stay with me now. Besides the popular and most well-known type of doujin, doujinshi, there are other types of doujin too, such as doujin softo, which can include fan-made games, board games, and card games, or say doujin hongaku, meaning doujin music. The origins of doujinshi can be traced back as far as the Meiji period of Japan, and there are actually a number of conventions that take place around the country for doujin groups. However, Comiket certainly helped bring everything to a whole new level, arguably being a big reason why doujinshi in particular continues being so popular in Japan and definitely casted a spotlight on doujin culture for international otaku. For creators, Comiket is actually a very important event for a number of reasons. Comiket helps bypass traditional gatekeepers like publishers and allows creators to build their own fanbase and establish their brand by providing a unique opportunity for them to showcase their work to a large and relevant audience. This is particularly important for creators whose work might be far too niche or have unconventional storytelling elements that you might never see within the mainstream. With hundreds of thousands of attendees, even a tiny fraction of interest in one's creative work can translate into significant sales and recognition. Comiket is also a time for creators to network, which can lead to collaborations, the exchanging of ideas, and a chance just to make friends. A successful Comiket debut can also provide the opportunity to launch a creator's career and propel them into mainstream popularity. This is because the immense exposure at Comiket can attract the attention of publishers, licensors, and other industry professionals, leading to lucrative deals for doujinshi adaptations, merchandise production, or even anime/manga contracts. So we've talked about the benefits of Comiket, but where did it all actually start? The year is 1975. 3 students at Meiji University, Yoshihiro Yonezawa, Teruo Harada, and Jun Aniwa, formed the itinerary critics circle Meikyu, publishing a manga critiquing doujinshi entitled Manga Shinhihyo Taikei. Feeling isolated within the larger university community, Meikyu longed for a space to connect with like-minded individuals, being also able to share their creative works. Thus, the idea for Comiket was born. On December 21st, 1975, in the basement of the Tokyo Fire Defense Building, with only 700 attendees and 34 circles, Comiket held its first event. It was a humble affair, but it sparked a flame that would revolutionize fan culture. Comiket grew in the following years, moving to larger venues and attracting more circles and attendees. By 1978, Comiket's Special One was held, marking the beginning of biannual events, once in summer and once in winter. The 1980s is where we saw a diversification of content, with the genres like doujin softo and original creations gaining traction. Comiket then became what we now know it as, a platform for aspiring artists, writers, and musicians to showcase their talents and build communities around their passions. Now, while doing research on the origins of Comiket, I found out something pretty surprising about Yoshihiro Yonezawa, one of the founders, who was also dubbed as one of the 4 Otaku Kings. Born in 1954, Yonezawa grew up in the midst of Japan's post-war social and political upheaval. The 1960s and 70s saw a surge in student activism within Japan, challenging the establishment and advocating for social justice. Yonezawa became deeply involved in the movement, joining the Zen Gakuren, a nationwide student federation known for its radical protests. There is even mention of him throwing Molotov cocktails while protesting the stationing of American nuclear aircraft carriers and getting detained by the police. While passionate about political change, Yonezawa also had a passion for anime and manga. He saw these forms of creative expression as potential tools for social commentary and critique. However, he said that in the early 1970s, mostly mainstream manga were published, as there were very few manga magazines at that time, and that it was very difficult to publish unusual works in anything other than underground fanzines devoted to doujinshi. It's this frustration by the limitations imposed by mainstream channels that would eventually lead to the birth of Comiket, although apparently it was only supposed to be a one-time event to sell his circle's doujinshi and those of other marginalized circles. Even though Yonezawa's activist past undeniably influenced his vision for Comiket, the convention evolved beyond solely political expression into now a hotbed for thirsty otaku. With staggering attendance numbers every year, the spirit of rebellion and self-expression is still alive. Now, not everybody who watches this video may be a hardcore otaku, but if you can, I would recommend at least once experiencing the phenomenon that is Comiket. Just be sure to take a shower before you go. Thank you to anyone who is watching this video, I really appreciate it. Sorry if the audio quality is not as good. I'm recording from my crappy laptop here in England, but if you'd like to see more, please feel free to subscribe. Anyway, until next time, thank you again guys, take care, all the best, bye.